As a woman, knowing how to defend yourself can be the key to your safety if you are ever in a situation where that is at risk. We're so honored to have Tiffany Richards of Peaceful Warrior Women here to give us some self-defense tips. Welcome, Tiffany.
Thank you.
So Brad was saying earlier, it's not just for women. Obviously, this is applicable to anyone, but I do feel like as women, this is something that can be incredibly empowering. This is something that I think for women, we all should know, because unfortunately, we're more likely to be targets. Men, obviously, this is great information for you as well, but specifically for women, and you are designing this specifically for women, this is something that we all should know.
Yes, absolutely. You should definitely know it. And a lot of people think that self-defense starts once you feel threatened or after you're attacked. But self-defense really is everything that we do on a daily basis to manage our personal safety.
Definitely. So we want to talk about awareness and intuition, which is, I think, something that also relates very well to women, because everyone says women's intuition. So you know that little feeling in your stomach that you get, that little gut feeling that maybe something's not right. So talk a little bit about that.
Yes, we talk about women's intuition, or just that gut feeling, you know, your gut instinct, and we say those things often.
Yeah.
Women definitely are more in tune with it, but we all have it.
Definitely.
And the root actually of the word intuition is intere, T-E-R-E, which means to guard or protect.
Oh, wow.
So we have every single thing in our body that we need to keep us away from danger. We just have to listen to it. And oftentimes we kind of talk ourselves out of things.
Yeah.
But once those red flags start popping up, once you feel that feeling in your stomach where you're like, I don't know about this situation, that's when you need to honor your gut and get out of there.
Because there's no harm in still honoring that feeling, like you said. If you don't feel right about something and you leave a situation, there's no harm to anybody there, but you might be taking yourself out of a really bad situation if you just listen.
Yes, and I hear stories all the time from women who did not listen to themselves and got themselves into a bad situation.
Oh, man.
So you just got to follow that gut instinct. And also be aware, you know, take away distractions. We do things on a daily basis to participate in our own victimization. You know, we're distracted, we have our earbuds in, we're looking at our phone, we're making calls, we're rifling through our purse.
Yep.
And I can guarantee you that the person who's looking at you, they're paying full attention to you.
They're not as distracted as we are. They are aware and watching. And so we need to put ourselves in that same kind of mindset, right? We need to be really aware.
Yeah.
So we also want to talk about something that's another thing kind of linked to that, which is confidence and putting out that vibe that if somebody is watching you, they might notice that you have something a little bit different, which is confidence, self-awareness. So how do we really embody that?
Perpetrators are really looking for an easy victim. They're not looking for somebody that they think are going to put up a fight. And actually, a study was done by Harvard quite some time ago about what's called power poses. So when you think about a power pose, what do you think of?
I would say I think of the girl on Wall Street in New York.
Yeah, absolutely. Or like Wonder Woman or even Superman. This is for everybody. And what it does is standing in a power pose for 2 minutes, and sometimes I like to do this too.
Oh, the hands
straight
up.
This is a big power pose. You can do this in your room or something like that. You don't have to walk around the grocery store in a power pose. But standing in a power pose for 2 minutes, what that is shown to do is increases your testosterone by 20%.
Wow.
It decreases your cortisol. That's your stress hormone. By 22%. And then you're 33% more likely to make decisions and take action. So if you can imagine walking through the world with your shoulders back, your head held high, you're making contact because you've been practicing these power poses, and this goes for anyone, men, women, children. This is something that you do before a meeting, something before you ask your boss for a raise, something before you go into a difficult conversation. This has been proven, studied by Harvard.
That is incredible. So this is something that we should do before we go out anywhere, or even just in, like you said, in your room before, you know, you have something coming up, you're going out. Make sure you have that confidence, because people are going to notice that.
Yes, absolutely. And then you just embody it and you just walk through the world like that. People are going to be looking at that and they're not going to want to mess with you, because they're going to be going for the easy targets. You're not an easy target when you're practicing this.
Okay, so say you still get targeted, unfortunately. What is a quick tip that you can give us that is something that everybody at home watching can kind of get, and we're going to call Erin up here to be our little
attacker,
our model for the day. So something that we can take away from this.
Okay, a lot of times women ask me about attacks like from the front. We cover a lot of attacks from the front. We know they're coming in, but what about a blitz attacker? Which blitz attackers only make up about 2% of the population. Erin's looking nervous. So imagine the power pose. I'm gonna walk you through this, okay? So if you get attacked from behind, whether they pull your hair, they pull your shoulders, they grab your neck, but up high from behind. Think about that power pose. So go ahead, I'm gonna have you come in, you're gonna grab her shoulders, all right? So he's the bad guy.
Okay.
What you're going to do is you're going to raise your right hand, all right? So think about that power pose.
Yeah.
You're going to take a step with your left foot over your right foot, and I want you to turn hard and drop your elbow down to your hip.
Okay.
Okay, now start throwing those palm heel strikes.
Right
You're
here?
right there. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Now, all you have to do, that you've created that distraction for him. He's been hit in the nose, and now you can get out of the situation.
All right, I
You're
love
not going to
this.
stand there and fight with him, right?
Tiffany, this is great. Thank you so much. These were great tips.